Hello, and welcome to the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And it always comes us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, drink the tea, because you know I loves me some tea. I'm actually drinking up some water here, y'all. So hydration is important. So drink your water. And I do have my really most important thing. It's my cup mug in here. And you can get your cup mug at monogcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Get your cup mug, period. Yeah.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I decided to wear my draft pick for King of Drag. I'm wearing my Alexander the Great shirt. I just got it a few days ago, so had to show it off. Any other kings that are on this cast, if you have shirts, please send me links. I will buy them. I will buy all of them. So
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple more on the way. I also am just drinking some water.
And hi, I'm River, your Brazilian correspondent here on the cup, and I'm also just drinking some water, but today I chose my ER mug because he's king as well. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And wait a minute, y'all. It looks like we have an extra special guest here, and I'm very excited. Who are you? Tell us.
Hi, I'm Johnny Jones. I'm like quick drag Johnny today, but I'm doing drag king since I think it's my 8 years doing drag king, and I'm also doing drag queens. I'm doing both because life is complicated enough, and I just wanted more complication in my life. I don't know. I'm super excited to be with you. Oh my God, I'm from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And I'm having also my little water here.
Nice.
Look at this water gang. Ow.
Yeah.
Johnny, it's so great to have you join us today. We thank you so much for taking your time out for just coming and talking about this important show, very important show that we're going to be discussing because y'all, it happened. We had a premiere. It was the first episode of King of Drag. Y'all, I'm so happy for this. I'm so happy. The first televised King of Drag competition. And it was, look, I'm excited. It was a good
About damn
show.
time.
Oh,
It's about damn time for
yeah,
real.
yeah.
And
Hello.
hello. It was so good, and I'm so excited that we get to talk about it. And so I don't even want to hold y'all long. I just want to get into it, but we got some things that we need to do because that's just what we do. So before we get started, channel, what you do, subscribe to this channel and all of our other channels because duh. But yeah, support us because we give you content almost every single day on drag, television, Eurovision, and wrestling. So please subscribe to all of our channels. We're on a mission to hit 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. So if you will help us out, all the links to all of our channels will be in the description. And you can just click it right down there because it's right down there. So click right there. Thank you. Then our audio podcast links will be in the description below. If you need to check us out on the go, as well as our Patreon. We got a lot of fun things jumping in our Patreon happening. So join the Patreon, follow all of our socials, do all the things that support us. Let's get into this show.
Mhm.
King of
I would
Drag. Go ahead, David.
I would like to ask a couple of questions to Johnny first, just to kind of get to know him, since
Yes.
he's probably a new face to a lot of people out there. First, I want to give the background for how we got connected. So I was at DragCon London this year, and
No.
yeah, I know, shocker. And I got to interview a lot of drag queens, but I talked to one of my favorite people to talk to, and that's Giselle Lullaby. And one of the questions I had for Giselle was like, who's a drag artist we should know? Maybe they should be on TV. Maybe people should follow them, whatever. And one of the first names she said is, "Oh, you have to follow Velma Jones, who also does Johnny Jones as drag king." So I reached out to Johnny back in January, and that's how we got connected. And I was so happy that you accepted our invitation to come join us and talk about King of Drag. So how did you meet Giselle? Can you tell us your history of knowing her?
I since I started, I think I knew her before I started drag too, because I have a lot of friends doing. We are having improv teams, and it's like a show every week, and it's at Cabaret Mado, and like they were my friend, and they were also drag queens, so we were like all being friends a little bit, and Giselle was there, and I was like, oh my god, this person is awesome. And I started drag, and we were together, and the more the years and the more we get closer. We went to Disneyland 2 years ago, I don't remember, but we were like 12 drag queens going in Disneyland. We were crazy, party of 12. And
Doing the most.
It was so fun because like every character recognized Giselle, and they were subtly said things like, "Oh, I didn't know we have a queen in the house," or something like that. And it were in Simon, like it was not. We were not in drag, so it was really funny. But after that, I think it really bound our relation, and now I am co-producing a show with her every week, full Giselle, and I'm performing there too. So yeah, we are close friends. We love to create together. Yeah. And she talks a lot.
She does, but in the best way. I love
yes,
it.
Yes, of course.
Love it.
Mm-hmm. And so you talked about it a little bit, but you do drag queen and drag king, which we don't see that too often. So can you tell us how you decided, like, I'm not just going to do one, I'm going to do both?
Yeah. When I started drag queens, I started before with Velma, and it was like the beginning, like not a lot of AFAB people were doing drag. So I did a contest, like a contest for beginner at this cabaret that all the show are pretty much there in Montreal, and I won this contest. I didn't know. I was like, oh, I'm just doing it for fun. But after that, I saw that it was really difficult for me to get gigs. It was always my other sibling drag that has the opportunity and not me. And like it came a little bit like to maybe trying to get more gigs, maybe doing king, and we didn't have, like, there were no kings in Montreal back then. I know before that they were a little bit, maybe more in the 90s or 2000, like early 2000. So I did that, and it helped a little bit, but it was always like something really more hard for me. Like, but at the end of the day, I did it to have more gigs, but I really appreciate to have like those two characters because they inspired each other. Johnny is like really, and he's more in the confidence, he doesn't care, and he helps Velma to, like, I don't know, having another kind of direction, and like I don't know, I need both of them. I know it's super, like, it's not easy every day, but I need a lot of characters in my life, I think.
I feel like maybe
when you have a lot to express.
Yes, yeah. And I'm also gender fluid, so of course, it really helps to go in a different spectrum of the gender.
Absolutely. You need all the characters to balance everything out. So I just need this person to help this one, and this one to help this one. And
exactly, yeah. So it's weird because I don't do Velma for 2-3 weeks, and I'm like, oh my god, how do I go on heels now? And I cannot be like super butch. Like, no, okay, it has to come back in the body too.
I think the mindset, you have to be like, oh, okay, wait.
Yeah.
Let me
and
soften it up a little
like
bit.
that. Oh,
like Johnny gets a little. Oh wait. Johnny, I gotta. Johnny, yeah.
But
I love that.
I have seen some of your performances. Even last week, I know you did a show and you did Disease by Lady Gaga. It was so good. And I'm telling you, I've seen people do like Gaga type of drag performances. I've never seen somebody do Gaga as good as you. It's so good. go follow Velma's and
Send me
Johnny's
that
Instagram.
video, David,
Oh, yeah, it's
please,
so
and I thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, she's in my vein. Lady Gaga is like, and this last album, I can't like it's God, it's beyond.
So good.
I love that.
I
Anything
want
else?
to ask one last question. Just because you brought up Lady Gaga, I'm like, it just came into my head. Is there a male artist that you look up to a lot, like we have, like the pop divas? Is there like a male artist that you look to inspiration?
It's a really good question because I feel those days it's a little bit more easier to find like really like crush on the divas. Like we have a bunch of like pop star more on the female side, and on the other part it's lacking a little bit. It's not that expressive, or it's not like we were in the 80s. It was like full of them, like more
Yes.
the gender fluid David Bowie or George Michael, or I think
Prince.
more of
Mhm.
Prince, exactly. Now I really enjoy Bruno Mars as an artist, and he's awesome. He danced like
Yes.
God, and
Yes.
so I have to go a little bit more in the 80s for me to really. I really enjoy like the boys band, of course.
Yes.
A little bit link for later what we're gonna talk about.
Yes.
I mean, but male artists in the 80s were kind of drag kings.
Oh,
low-key.
Yeah. Oh,
High
absolutely.
key. Like,
High key they
Prince.
were. I was like,
I mean,
Prince,
Prince,
David Bowie,
MJ,
Yeah.
that's a
Michael Jackson. Yeah, they were
Hello.
pretty much drag king. Is
Yeah.
what we. And now now everybody's too cool. Pop stars was
We got Harry Styles,
it's
mean,
cringe. Everything is
it's-
cringe. I'm like,
It's
ugh.
starting to, maybe
Vincent
we'll have.
Boone.
I would say Vincent Boone. Maybe it's starting to revamp that whole. I don't know.
Yeah,
Right? I don't know. It's.
but there is
it's-
a hole. There, like it doesn't
The
like
space is there.
Yeah.
An artist just
It's
needs
there.
to come and fill that space because it's there and we miss it.
yeah.
And it's like it just depends on what you are, how you are as a kid, like your character you want to develop. Because I feel like if there is a character who is like, okay, I like the 2000 boys, the pop boys, we can get little Justin Bieber drag kings, and you can
With
get
the highlights.
right. You can get Justin Timberlake drag if that is what their judge is. You get Chris Brown, you get whatever, whoever your judge is. I think you just have to be able to connect with that artist. If you don't connect with that artist, it's not going to be some. And yeah, in the 80s, like you said, the 80s artists just made it easier because they were
pinnacle.
already they were just out there and you loved it.
Even
but-
Little Richard started it in what
Period.
the 50s
In
and
the
60s.
50s,
The one.
60s, absolutely.
one.
The one, the only
Yes.
Little Richard.
Yeah.
Like
The
absolutely.
blueprint for sure.
So yeah. Love that. I that was a great question, River. Because
Thank
I
you.
was like that we don't hear a lot of drag kings talk about
Right.
male artists that influence them. It's usually drag queens talking about the female pop stars, the divas that we get so much impersonation of, and we love it.
Yeah,
But
and
I'm-
also sometimes it's gonna be like maybe more an actor or a movie that
Yes.
Yeah.
the link of something else, like and after grabbing a song from another artist. But yeah, I really enjoy like really a strong character. Like I did a lot. I'm Just Ken, because like the performance at the Academy were insane. Like it was
Yeah.
such drag touch and like
That's
yeah.
awesome.
It's
I want to
fun.
see that now.
But and I think somebody mentioned maybe on the show that drag, like John Travolta was a big influence on them and their drag.
Yeah.
So that
Grease,
makes sense.
yeah.
Grease, and that makes sense to have
Cry
actors
Baby.
as that person. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love that. Well, should we talk about the show?
Let's
Because
do
I
it.
think that's what we're here for, to talk about the Kings. Let's get into it, y'all, because I took notes because I was so scared that I would miss stuff. And I usually don't take notes, Johnny. I don't usually take notes. I'm like, that's not
I
my
did too.
shush.
That's my
Wait,
issue.
look at
Oh.
that's David's
Physical
use.
notes.
Like
Oh, I have-
that's Dave. I have physical notes. I was like, literally sat in the middle of my floor, and I'm like, and I got my roommate to watch it too, y'all.
Ooh.
Fun.
Might be a future guest on the show. I'm just saying, I haven't convinced her yet. But yeah, let's talk about it. We already find that. First of all, let me just say this. I know somebody. I already am in love with the acronym of this show. Like I am already in love. Like we already got the uh CUNT
See you with charisma, uniqueness, and
Which
talent.
it took me years to figure out that was an
Right.
acronym. It just went over my head for years.
Love that.
It
But
only
for
took me twice for them to say it on
this
this
one,
show
right?
for
They
me to
said,
pick it up.
but that it was daring, innovation, courage, and charisma with a K. And
Okay.
I literally died. I melted on the floor. I was like, "Are y'all kidding me?"
So good.
It's so
Right
good.
off the gate, I loved it. I was like,
Yeah.
"Y'all done got me hooked." I love that. You
It's
are
so
not gonna.
stupid for no reason, and I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
I'm, you are not going to give me a dick.
Charisma with a
Acronym.
K.
Hey, at least we can say that on the
We can
channel.
say that. You are not going to give me a dick acronym, and I'm not going to love it like that. Kudos for them for coming up with that. It was so good. But
Yeah.
everybody walks into this man cave at once, and I was like, "Whoa,
No.
whoa."
That was too much for me.
It was very overstimulating, it was very like I think you said it earlier off like very real world 90s style. Like
Yeah.
everybody walked on in, like, whoa. I was like, that's a lot. I mean my brain is used to one person walking in, doing their entrance look, and then we do it. I'm like, oh
Is the
no.
first is the first thing you learn when you do drag. It's like you have to take the time to
Yes.
people just to look at you like a 30 seconds. So if you don't do that in a show of drag, like what
You
else?
gotta have your moment. Like that's
Yeah.
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 It was like, oh my God,
A
not
lot of
this.
effort and we didn't see nothing. Yeah.
Mhm. Not only was it overwhelming having all of these conversations come in at once, but for some of us, like just looking at the walls, there's so much
Yes.
on the walls. I'm like, oh, this is chaos.
I'm like, what are you looking at first?
It's like a kindergarten kind of thing.
Yeah, it was very much like arts and crafts. Like, let's stick everything on the wall here. Like,
I love it though.
I like the chaos of it, but I was like, it's so much to look at.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
I loved it. Confused. I was just like, okay, just a lot. And like you said, David, a lot of conversations were going on at once. I was like, okay, who do I listen to? Because you can hear like they'll
Everyone.
focus on the conversation, but you can hear other conversations going on behind them. You're like, oh, what's happening over there? It was a lot.
We are used to a certain format, and
Mhm.
so it is
Yeah.
it will take time to adjust. And I think also it is a first season, so they will also
Yeah.
adjust some things later on for sure. But
And
yeah.
what I like about this show so far is that they're kind of leaning into a very similar format to Drag Race, but they're not like trying to pretend like,
Right.
oh, we're back. Because I feel like other shows kind of follow a similar format, but then they try to pretend like, oh, we're
They're
so much
not.
better. We're so much better than that. But
Well, no,
it's like,
they
it's
know
okay.
that they know who they are.
If it's
You know
not,
what you're doing. We
don't
know.
fix it.
Everyone knows.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I agree with that. It was not like we're not going to act like we're not following the almost exact same format,
Even
but
with the
with a little
dick
tweaks.
acronym.
Yes, right. And I love that. I love that so much.
I
But-
Yeah.
love that they are not pretending to like not be inspired, at least, right? But I do love that there are things that are very specific to them
yes.
into what they're doing. Like we'll get into it, but like the things with Murray being the host and like behind the bar, all of that, very specific to them. I like that those
Mhm.
touches
Mhm.
that really makes the show get their own identity,
Mhm.
right?
Yes, right.
I'm
But-
curious how familiar everybody was with Murray because I really didn't know much about him.
I did not know Murray at all.
So I will represent the Murray Hill stands of the podcast because I have not been a fan for that long, so I will not claim to be. But I got to know Murray on the Drag Me to Dinner show.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's a show from it was Neil Patrick Harris and his husband that I
Yeah.
forgot
Yes.
his name.
Correct.
And it's a show where they would bring two duos of drag queens to host a dinner party.
Yeah.
That would be a theme. so that they would have to work in the pairs and do like the decor, the food, not do it, but like conceptualize it, and then a team would do it, but they would pretend that they would, and then Murray was the host of that.
Oh yes.
And then I was watching that show, I think beginning of last year, I think. And so that's when when it came out. I don't remember exactly, but when it came out, I binged it. And it was really fun and camp. And the energy of Murray hosting, like when I watched it, I was like, I need to watch this person on my TV on everything and anything. Like just all the time.
Charisma.
I need that. I love Murray, the energy.
Charisma.
Yeah.
I live.
I was like, I don't know them, but the second they came on the screen, it felt like I knew them because it was like they gave such an energy, and I was like, well, I might not know who they are, but I kind of want to know who they are now. So I like that in a host because you don't want the host to feel like they're not approachable or not distance. Like, oh my God. I feel like this was such a passion project for Murray. And I don't know if that is true or not, but it felt like it was a passion project. Like they've been waiting for this moment to be on this show and hosting these kings. And you felt the passion for this. And it was like, finally, we are here. Finally, this is happening. And finally, this is something I've been waiting to happen. That's what I felt for Murray when they came out. It was like, show me
daddy energy. Not really daddy, but just like father
figure.
like
father. Father. Like, I am going to care for these kings. I'm going to make sure that this experience is a good experience for these kings, win or lose. It's gonna be a good moment.
They repeated it like you already won, you are here, like you are loved, and like everything is with so much empathy and compassion and love. I found more than RuPaul. I found like there is this
well, yes.
Yeah, but we are a little bit more like that maybe in the king community. We are not a lot, so we are really like trying to help each other.
Absolutely.
I think one thing that's kind of cool is with Murray being a trans man, I think that probably was a big factor in like I think half of the cast being trans on some level, which is so cool and so different from how Drag Race started. But even like I'm thinking about the first drag kings I knew when I started coming out, they were trans men. Like I think there's such a big backbone to the drag king community. So I love all of that representation.
I do too. It's we love when we have a place where people feel like they could just be themselves and be comfortable and still be able to present their art, because that's all it is. And I feel like when you have a lot of like trans men doing drag kings, it's like I can just still be me and show you what I love. I love art. I love showing this. This is my passion. I can put it out there without having to go back and I want to be a drag queen. I want to be a king. I'll still want to be who I am, but I don't want to, and since drag queens are so big and since they have so mainstream now, which we love, but we need more kings out there being just as mainstream and being able to represent and be like, let's show this. I can't wait till we get to the point where drag kings and drag queens are like both on shows competing for $100,000. You know what I mean? And it's coming.
It's happening.
This is the start of this.
For sure. But I will say, Lana, I think one of the main things of this show is really to have them be seen. Yeah. Just to have the eyes, like just have the spotlight on them and let them be seen. Because I will say today, I was telling my mom about the fact that we're doing this podcast. My mom knows that I love Drag Race and all of that. And then I told her about this new show, and then I said it was about drag kings, and she said, "What is that?" She didn't even know of the existence of drag kings, and she knows about drag queens because I talk about it all the time, so she knows. So like just that, and she's just like a random woman from Brazil, you know what I mean? Like it's just so. A lot of people, I think, that already know of drag in general don't know about this amazing community, and now we all get to experience them. I
It
love
made
it.
me think when we go outside of the city and more in the little town, and they're just like, "Who are you? Like, what is that?" And they don't know, but they love it.
Hmm.
It's always education, but like, yeah, it's a little bit the same. I think with your mom or people.
And my roommate too.
Kind of
I did
like
the
what
same.
happened with Drag Race when it came out.
Yeah,
But
All right.
for yeah,
It was the same thing with my roommate. She had no idea what drag kings were. And I was like, we literally went through everybody's Instagram together. And I was like, this is this, and this is this, and this is this. And she was like, oh my God, I'm interested. And so she's like, well, let me know when it's on and I'll watch it. And we sat and watched it together on yesterday. And she loves it. She's like, I can't wait till next week. She has her favorites and everything. So I love that we get to expose more people to the drag king community because they deserve to have just as much representation and be out there just like anybody else. So I love
they
that for
work
them.
just as hard. Like
Just as hard.
maybe
Some maybe even
harder.
harder. We don't know. We don't,
You know.
because
See,
but
I have a
Right.
friend who I told him about the show, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know if I'd want to watch that. Their aesthetic doesn't appeal to me because his impression." He told me he's like, "Drag kings, they just wear like a white wife beater, like t-shirt and jeans, and then walk around and do Eminem." I'm like, okay, just because you've seen that
one
doesn't
person
mean
do that.
that's. I mean, oh, I've seen quite a few people do that, but that does not mean that that's what the
exactly with a sheen dress, like.
Right. Yeah, I'm like, you are going to be, because we had looked through their Instagrams. So I'm like, wait till you see some of these kings. Like, what they're bringing is just on the same level as what we get from so many drag queens. Trust me.
Absolutely. But we do get everybody coming into the workroom, into the man cave, not workroom, man
Man
cave.
cave.
Get everybody coming into the man cave, and they're talking to people who recognize each other. Some recognize each other, some don't. We see a lot of those who do recognize each other, like, hey, this is so good. We're working, blah, blah, blah.
Molasses.
King Molasses comes in. They're like, oh my God, like bowing down literally to King Molasses, like, oh my God, you're so great. And I was
So
like, yeah,
everyone has the same reaction to them. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah. Because literally, that is exactly what I wrote in my notes. Molasses is giving great energy, and right out the gate, I love it. And everybody seems to flock because they know who they are and who, as the artist, and they enjoy that. Then we get the team Latino cook up together. Tuna Melt and Charles Galen King, and oh Lord,
Buck
we have
Wild.
Buck Wild. But they all come together and they're like, "We're Team
Ezra, I know
Latino."
you were living for that, Ezra, if you're
Ezra
watching.
was living for it,
You need
and
to
I
draft all
definitely-
three.
Ezra's like, my team.
I know you're living for that, Ezra, but it was so good to see, and we got the Texas queens come together, and they know each other, and it was just a good vibe in there. I will say, everybody seemed to be vibing out, but then after you check out your competition, you start to realize, oh, I might not be the big dog in this yard no more. Like you used to be the big dog in your yard at your hometown, in your local bar or wherever, and now you get into this room with all these other big dogs, and you like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe I'm not that. And we saw Dick going through that. And very much in their head.
Yeah. And we really, everybody didn't think that it would be like that, like for Dick. Like, it was so confident.
Didn't think that.
The confessional was really interesting too. After the chaos and with my lost in translation, sometimes I was like, "What? I don't understand." But after when it was more slow and the confessional was there. I mean, I had chills and like my eyes were like with water. I was like, "This is so refreshing." Like they are so happy to be there, and we're starting a little bit to. Talking about the anxiety and everything, and I'm like, oh, this is so human. And sometimes with the other franchise with drag queen, it's always like putting on like my proud and my ego, and I'm like, yeah, but we're all humans and we're all insecure. Like it's fun to just have real stuff also. Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that I really liked about, at least for the first episode, what you said is the realness, like the real aspect of it.
No.
in just everything, like the genuine aspect of it.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I will also say it was a little surprising seeing some of them out of drag because I was like, oh, that's not what I
Yeah.
expected. Especially Buck.
Big D.
Yeah, Big D and Buck were the two for me.
Yeah.
Big D, oh my
Yeah.
God, Big D, I will need my
Love.
moment.
Love.
to-
Oh.
Yes, I will co-sign whatever you say because I think I'm on agreements with you. But
Baby,
yeah, seeing
you
them
know.
out of drag was wild. I agree with you, Dave. I was like, I didn't think Buck surprised
Because
me
we
the
interviewed
most.
Buck. We interviewed
Yes.
Buck. So
And they looked wild for
I
sure.
was like, oh, look at this
Very wild.
glamorous lady.
I was like, I mean, elegant, had a head wrap on and a
Yeah.
like,
Sexy,
what is
mama.
this?
I'm like, hello?
Hello.
Bye bye.
Hello. Like she was just like, oh yes, out of my drag king persona, I'm very femme and glamorous. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like we
A
just
king
had
after
you
my own heart.
Love,
Oh my
love, love.
God.
love, but I love that so much. I
Yeah.
love that you can be like, yes, I am a drag king, and yes, I am gonna do all the drag king things. I'm gonna look just like a king. But when I'm in my everyday life, girly baby, I'm such a girl. And it's like I live.
Live.
I live for that.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Buck, you got to come back on the show, and I want to see just regular Buck in her glam next time, because my Miss Mamas, you kind of ate in that confessional. I was livid.
He ate.
She ate down in that
Yeah.
We need to see
confessional.
drag queen Buck.
Right. My roommate
Right?
literally was like, that's the same person. I was like, that's the same person. She
I was
could
like,
not get
What is
she
what
couldn't
they, what? Oh, okay.
my roommate couldn't get over the chest plate for Buck. She's like, it's so big and just I just she kept talking about the breastplate the whole time, the chest plate. I was like, girl, it's just a chest plate. She's like,
Yeah,
but it's
But
just
it must be
it's
so
so
hard because
It's
if you have
so sweaty.
large breasts
yes.
and then you have to
You
put
cannot
something on top
imagine.
of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have
God.
experience with it, Johnny M.
Oh, yeah, I always have the chest plate, and like summer it's ridiculous. And if you have it for 12, 15 hours, I don't
Yeah.
understand like how it went. They were all dry all day, or maybe it was 2 days, but I don't know. But oh my God, they must have been so sweaty. I wrote it like the sweat.
The sweat that came off when they took
The,
that off.
the
Yeah,
rashes
just
after. Oh my God.
for them.
Oh, yeah. Look, I don't know how long y'all were in there, but the sweat, it had to be like
They were
buckets.
dancing.
They dancing
Yep.
and moving and a lot. Oh, buckets. Ooh, I don't want to imagine what that was. But yeah, I enjoyed watching that. But we do get Murray coming in, and a lot of conversations happened, and they were very like, once they got settled, once Murray came in and got everybody settled, the conversations was focused on what they had to do. Was there any other conversations that you might want to talk about before I move on? Okay, but the challenge happens because we get a weenie challenge.
A weenie.
I love
I
that.
This is so
I love
camp. I'm
stupid.
So stupid.
it's so good.
Okay, what sport would you all want to do?
I'm thinking
I
like, would I want to do a sport that I used to play, or would I want to
right.
do a sport that I always wanted to play but never did? You know what I
Mm,
mean?
all
So I'm
right.
like maybe volleyball because
Mm-hmm.
that's my thing. Um,
I probably would have did hockey because that's so not who I am. So I would have probably just got me a hockey mask, and then it was like, and they were like, "Who is this girl trying to play hockey?" I don't know, but just feel
Yeah.
like hockey would be fun.
I feel you just have to put some things and just have an armor and go to war.
Right. Or
Yeah.
I would have got the katana because I think that would have just been fun. Give me a sword. Give me a
Black
sword so I can
Cross.
swing it
right?
around.
I was thinking like I think I was gonna make my choice based on what prop I wanted, not
Hmm.
like
What
what was the
sport I want to
coolest
be.
prop to work with. Yeah,
Hmm.
no matter the sport.
See, I was thinking ultimate frisbee. I used to play ultimate frisbee a lot,
Mm,
but there's a lot of like posing thing you could do
Yeah.
with that, like a lot of
right.
jumping and
Mm,
I don't know, just go wild with it.
Yeah.
Buck
If
wild.
it was a prop, it would have been the katana. If I would have had the prop, it would have had to been the sword, I think, because I think that was the coolest prop ever. But it's sports is the theme, and they have to do sports. And they have to do a trading card challenge, and I thought that was absolutely cool. I was like, actually, I kind of like that. It's the a playoff of the photo challenge that we see a lot on Drag Race for the first episode, and but it's a sports trading card, which I like, and we get guests coming in to the man cave for this challenge.
Yeah.
Jag. Tenderoni comes in,
Oh my
number
God.
one, and everybody swoons. And I was like, this is my first encounter with Tenderoni. And you know what? I understand.
That's your
I see the
Thank you,
vision.
Lana.
I see the
Okay.
vision. I understand why everybody's like, Tenderoni. I was like, oh, me too. Tenderoni.
Are you pretty familiar with them, Johnny?
Yeah, I meet them. I think he came 2 years ago at Pride. I was starstruck, so I ignored them.
I can't talk to you. Johnny's like, can't talk to you.
You would.
It's
Tenderoni has the MJ energy so hard that people just pass out in their energy,
I
in their
think
presence. That people just pass out.
yeah,
Tenderoni. Oh.
Because
love them.
I'm
It's
not
so
gonna say anything
cute
because
to have those big drag king, and they are like coming, and all the drag kings know them, and they are like, what the? It's so fun.
I love that. I feel the energy coming from the both of you. Like you, Johnny and Revry, y'all just like so much you want to say about Tenderoni, but it's like,
I'm like, I don't want our video to be flagged, and I don't want to go into subjects that are not about the show.
I
And when I
got you.
think of Tenderoni, that's where my mind goes. You know what I mean? So
Logan and I and a bunch of us do that every time for
right.
the drag
Every
queen shows.
I didn't
Yes.
say it.
We're always
You
thirsty.
did.
So
I'm about to say feel free
honestly-
to thirst away.
honestly, I was thirsting over at least one of the people in this cast.
Well, period. Me too. I
Well, the
will say.
cast, yes, a few.
Yes.
Yeah.
But-
Tenderoni, I mean.
But and then Laisha Clarendon from the WNBA, and I was like, I know her. I know her. Okay, Lana, you know somebody. That's all that was my whole country. Like, I know her. That's
Don't know
really it.
sports.
You
mean,
don't do
sports,
sports.
yeah.
I know sports, but it's WNBA, and me, I feel like I just have to support the women in the WNBA as a woman. I have to do it. I have to do it because I need them to say women's sports is we up there too, period. But yeah, I love this. Okay, wait, I think I skipped something, and I don't want to overlook somebody. River, this is your time because I need you to talk about Big D because you said you have lots of things that I skipped over. I wrote it in my notes to talk about Big D before, but I will let you go and give you a moment for Big D because I have some co-signing to do.
Okay, so first I already loved the energy from everything that I saw from the promo to then the Instagram and then the little Meet the Kings video that they put up. So when we did the draft, I picked Big D because of that video, because I just fell in love with the personality, and it was just I connected fiercely immediately. The first moments where they started to show them out of drag speaking about their experience there, I was just like, that's me, literally get out of my head. I was just like, that's me.
Me too.
And also remember how I was obsessed with CP on Thailand? That's
Same.
she has been topped. Let's just say that.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I digress. That's all I had to say
I will
for
co-sign.
this hour of the day.
Okay. I will co-sign that, River, because I absolutely fell in love with Big D in this episode. I was like, it just was the whole character that they have is so good, and they are committed to this character. Like they are all the time.
Should be committed.
All the time.
That was me. Like I'm like that. Like always in character. Like
Always.
wow, love.
I love that. I was just like, they are not like faltering from this character at all in every step of the way. I'm like, do you live, breathe, and eat this character? Are like you with this character at home when the cameras are not? Like, I just feel like Big D walks around and does that
Yeah.
Big D thing all day long, and I would love it. I would love it because it was so interesting to watch, and it was so like intriguing. Like, I could not stop watching or
Could not look
wanting to,
away.
could not look away at all. And I didn't want to. I was like, so fun. And then she was like, yes, I'm the oldest king here. I'm the oldest king and I love it. And it's like you embrace that. And
I know.
we will talk more about Big D later because there's a lot more to talk about, but I love Big D.
He kind of gives me like older version of Emma Stone. I don't know why. Every time I see him, I'm like, you are Emma Stone in 15 years as a drag king. And I'm so into, I think it's the eyes. They have like very
I think it's the
similar
eyes. I think so because I can honestly see it, David. I'm like, oh.
But I love Emma
When you said it, I was like, but then I thought about it. I was like, it was very.
It was that meme like,
look, I'm not always right.
You have a point.
yeah,
You're kind of right.
like I definitely think it's the eyes because
I see it.
I can see it. The more
Beautiful
I
eyes.
just see it, beautiful, gorgeous. But I just love their whole demeanor about themselves and how they just carried themselves throughout this episode. Even when they felt vulnerable and didn't feel like everything wasn't going their way, they still just were like, all right, well, you got to do it. And beautiful. So I am sad I slept on Big D because I did not watch the Meet the King videos and all that stuff because I decided to go into all of this stuff blind and just
There were
feel it
only
out for
2
myself.
out at the time that we did the
Yeah,
drag.
exactly.
That
two.
was true. That was true.
I think the first was
Alexander.
Alexander, and then it was Big because it was alphabetical. I think, right?
Right. And so I didn't see anybody else or anything. So I was just like, but I don't care. I can root for who I want to root for. And I just really enjoy Big D in this entire
I usually
episode.
don't, as y'all know, but in this opinion, I enjoy Big D.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do you enjoy that, River?
River doesn't
They mean
like
a different Big D.
a different Big D.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Yeah, usually
Explain
big.
more.
There are exceptions, but
Usually the
usually-
Big D isn't her type, but this Big D ain't this one.
We can pull up the pictures, by the way, from the Weenie Challenge. We have those.
We do.
Ooh,
We shall do that right now.
And I love when they do a mini challenge that is stupid, but also
Weenie
makes them use a skill that a drag artist usually should have, which is selling yourself and your look and your image.
Yeah.
So it's something that they can use and are probably going to do a lot in the future.
But I'm
Absolutely.
happy to see them now because it was really fast when they showed them.
Yes.
the shows.
It was so fast. It was like, boop, boop, boop. I was like, oh, let me see. But these are the pictures from their trading cards from the Weenie Challenge. And honestly, I was like, these are all pretty good pictures.
Yeah.
My roommate said those were good. Those were actually really good. I was like, yeah, I enjoyed a lot of them. I don't think anybody had a bad picture,
Yeah.
to be honest.
I was going to say some are better than others, but none of them are bad.
None of them.
They are all
I think
good.
I have one clear standout, but I will say during the time when they were actually taking the pictures, the standout for me was Pressure K with that jock strap. I was
loved it.
And
I
he's like,
loved it.
maybe I shouldn't have picked a jock strap.
I think they did a good job with the drop strap, honestly. I thought it was funny and campy and I enjoyed it. But let's go through these pictures. Let's talk about who we liked, who we, what we I guess rank or not rank. I just say who we liked about.
I'll just say my favorites. So I'll say my second favorite was probably Dick Van Dyke, which they call him DVD, which I'm obsessed with because I love DVDs. And you can't spell David without DVD.
Sure.
But my overall favorite, if you can get that basketball to spin like that,
I know.
come on,
Yeah.
that was good.
That was good.
Getting it like that and posing at the same time and looking that good, stop it. Get out of here. And also when not just this picture that is incredible, but just the whole process of it, like I felt like I was watching America's Top Model again, and like just watching the, my God. So yeah, King Molasses was my favorite, but I also really loved DVDs.
Mhm.
The pose, it's so good. But also Big D, because that is just so like it's so
stupid.
So stupid. But yeah, those would be my top three. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
I'm
about you, John?
pretty much agreeing with everybody. For me, also, just like a mention to sorry, I don't Charles.
Yeah.
Face
Mhm.
good,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
but for me also, yeah, I think Big D. I love DVDs, but he's like on the side, so yes and no. I don't know. It's good, but I wanted more. The face.
Right.
Fair.
And of course King Molasses.
Duh.
You cannot go wrong with that. Like, am I sounding weird? Because I feel like I'm sounding weird. No?
You
Okay,
sound
No,
cool.
it sounds good.
Okay, cool. Because it was making noises in my ear. I like DVD because for this reason only. I thought he gave me Elvis football player, and I was just like, kind of really love that vibe, that whole full. But I'm a football player. Like, come on now,
You're like,
come through.
no.
Right. Like, he's like the cutest football player out there. Like,
And I
It's
got the
giving Troy Bolton.
armpit
Like
hair.
I'm an athlete, but I also do
yes,
musicals.
but I do musical theater. Like,
That's it.
cha cha cha. But
Sometimes
I
I
play
can.
football. I love that. I love that. DVD was one of my favorites. King Molasses, of course, and I think Pressure was another one because I just like enjoyed the goofiness of that. Even though they doubted themselves about like, oh, I don't know if this was
Uh,
the right
no.
thing. I kind of loved it how goofy it was. I enjoyed it. But yeah, those are my favorites. This was a
Mhm.
fun challenge to
It was
do,
a
though.
fun challenge to watch. It was just a good time.
Yeah.
It was a good time to watch. But we do have winners because they both Tenderoni and Leisha got to pick a Weenie Challenge winner, and they picked
King
oh I'm up
King Molasses. But I
Molasses
don't remember who
and
picked. I
Charles.
think
and Charles.
We have it.
and Charles, but who
It
picked who? I
wasn't
don't
it
remember.
There it
Tenderoni.
is.
I'm about to say, come up! I'm pushing the button several times.
Weenie.
I
Then
got you.
Charles, Galen King, David, you push buttons for me, please. Thank you. 'Cause
Yes, I
I
got you.
can't do. Thank you, Charles, Galen King,
Always
and
pushing our
King.
buttons.
Always. But they are the winners of this challenge. I think Tenderoni picked King Molasses and
Hmm.
Laisha picked or was
Yes.
it the other way around? No, I think that was
No,
the
No,
way
it
around.
you had it
was
right.
that.
They actually
Right, yeah.
also picked a runner-up because Leisha also had Alexander in the top
Yes.
Yeah.
two, and then Tenderoni also had Buck Wild.
Right.
So
Yes.
They both did like their top two, and then they said they each picked a winner to be.
Oh,
Mhm.
absolutely. So we do say goodbye to Laisha, and they said, Tenderoni, we'll see you later. Get out. Um, but they win a $150 gift card from Priceletics. So good on them.
Yep.
Good
and
on
an
them for the,
advantage in the challenge.
That's it.
or as King Lassie said, is it an advantage or is it a target?
Right.
Because it felt like a target, but they said it is an advantage. But
Is it an advantage or a chore?
a chore, I fear.
You
I
know.
fear is more of a chore than an advantage, honestly. But we do get the beefy challenge. I love this
Mm.
stuff so much. I love
Fucking
this
dumb.
stuff so much. Oh, I should not love this as much as I do, but I do. We get a beefy challenge, and it's the boy band challenge. And Charles and King get to pick who they want to be in their boy bands. So
Mhm.
King picks Pressure K, Henlo Bullfrog, Dick Van Dyke, and King Percocet. And Charles gets Tuna Melt, Alexander the Great, Buck Wild, and Big D. Big D and King Perk being the last two people to be picked, they
Gag.
both was like, They both felt some kind of way. Even though Purple was like, I understand because I just can't dance. I can't do a two step. That ain't me. So I get it. And Dee was like, hmm, picking me last, huh? Okay. Okay.
She felt
Feel
really bad.
dismissed.
She was like, I feel awful.
Awful. She felt dismissed. I was like, no, Dee, you're fine. You're great. You know,
For anybody, it plays with your head. Like,
it does.
Yes.
Yeah. It will play with my head. I know. I'm like,
It
especially
can't not. It's weird if it doesn't, honestly.
especially if you're like the older person in a group of people and then they don't pick you and you're last and you just get shuffled along to the remaining group. You're like, oh, okay, don't pick the old gal. Okay, don't you're like, all right, fine. But
I
yeah,
think it's because people when they heard the challenge, maybe because also they had a very short time to think of everything.
90 minutes.
90 minutes.
Well, yeah. But I mean, when they hear the challenge, like when they hear boy band,
I have such a huge, like, my brain exploded when I heard 90 minutes to record, record and choreograph a whole my brain said, what the
what?
hello?
What do
It
you
sounds
mean?
like a weenie challenge.
That is a weenie challenge. This is not a beef. Because I was like, what do you mean you're going to only give them 90 minutes? And then I'm like, do they have to change clothes? Is it like, do we have to choreograph or like coordinate outfits? No, you just put a green or a blue shirt over your.
that was weird. That was weird for me.
That was the one thing I hated. I did not like this about this challenge.
Are we doing sport again? Like,
hello? You just give them this blue and green shirt and say, put this over your already existing outfit.
They change. Like,
I was like, I didn't like that part, but I'm like, okay, maybe they didn't have time. Maybe, first season, show grace. I show grace. I'm open-minded, but I hated that part. I was like, 90 minutes? Are you kidding me? Because how am I
in and out like 1 hour for each thing? Like so 3 hours.
Give us a whole day to complete this challenge so I can at least because when you give them 90 minutes, we get performances that sound like 90 minutes. And I'm like, I don't want that on this show, and I don't want that for these kings. They deserve more time to get something together.
They deserve to show what they can do when they can prepare something. Like especially in a group, because like if it would be different if it was like you have 90 minutes to plan a presentation, like a
talent show
performance with all of that they had to do, but for you,
yes,
like that's enough time. But to do it in a group, because a group dynamic, just that takes time.
Yeah.
On top of the actual things that they had to do, like just having to deal with a group takes so much time.
But they did really well for the things that they have. My only concern is like all this energy and like talent that they pull, and they have the same clothes with like a green or blue. Like it was not like polished. It was like, oh, we have this old T-shirt, just put it on.
If they had been prepared, like to come with something that you would wear in a boy band, I think that would be a little bit different. But you could tell some of them were not prepared.
But it's always like we said, like, oh, drag kings are not like drag queens. It's always like more muted, and it's not true. And you just like do a challenge and you do that. So I don't know. It's not fair for them.
And also, really, I don't feel like it was needed because they performed like. Do we need the colors to see who's in?
They could keep changing something,
or just let them wear what they're wearing. Like they are, because boy bands don't always necessarily look the same. Like they can each represent.
Themselves.
I don't know, River. When the boy bands were up on the stage, I might have gotten confused about which five were in which group. If
they didn't have
when they performed one group at a time on the stage, we could have gotten confused.
I thank God for that blue and green T-shirt, because I would have never known who was
who. It was too eclectic. Like
who would never. Like who was who? And I didn't know Buck Wild from Pressure K in that blue or green T-shirt. I would never know.
Yes,
Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
I did like the segment that they had. Like really quickly, all of them were like, "Oh yeah, here's what I think of when I think of boy bands. Like this is my boy bands," and I felt like you could tell a lot about each of them by who their boy bands are. So I do want to know, who are your boy bands, Lana? I know yours. We share the same one.
I mean, I go in decades, David, because I'm much older, and so I have decades of boy bands. Because you start with the Jackson 5 for me, because that is the ultimate boy band.
Thank
Period.
you.
Period. You always start with the Jackson 5, and then I grew up into the new kids on the block phase of it all, and the new edition phase of it all. Because hello, and then I grew into my back, but not them, never them, always in sync, and only in sync.
Yeah.
Never that other group. Never.
The
It's
shade
always in sync.
Backstreet Boys.
Never that other group. It's always in sync. Period. But before in sync is Boys to Men, and then in sync. But yes, that's my boy band journey, and it stops there. It stops. I don't go any further than in sync.
Period.
There's some
Period.
good ones that have come since.
You said I'm done.
That was done.
NSYNC is always my favorite. That's like, they were at the peak of their popularity when I was in high school. So I was super into, I think my first CD I bought was No Strings Attached. So yeah, I definitely love NSYNC. I also really like 98 Degrees. I did like Backstreet Boys. I'm sorry, Lana.
Yeah, sorry, whatever.
Westlife, BB Mac, all of those like early 2000s, late 90s. I like.
See, when I was growing up, never really got into boy bands when I was like younger, because I was a High School Musical girl. So that was my band, like that was the, but when I was later, like 16, whatever, 17, then it was One Direction. Like that's the first band that I got into for real, that I really love, like not their lives or whatever, but the music.
Right.
But my favorite, that's the one that I really got into and like had a girly phase with it. But my favorite, you said it, it's the Jackson 5, it's Jackson 5 or the Jacksons. Like either, like, period. And I also, like, I grew up listening to rock bands. So for like male artists, I would listen to Nirvana. Do you know what I mean? That's
got it. Yeah.
Period.
What about you, Johnny?
I'm so sorry, Lana. For us in Montreal, in Quebec,
Yeah, I
the
get it.
PSV were
Yeah,
such a hit
I
because
get it.
you didn't want them. So they came in Canada and a big hit.
I didn't want them. Everybody else seemed to have wanted them around
No,
me. I was like,
before,
no, thank
the
you.
real American rejects.
Yeah, no, they didn't want them. Yeah.
No, we didn't want them at first, and that's the whole funniest thing about boy bands. A lot of them started that same way. America didn't want them at first. It wasn't until they went over to Germany and Quebec and Canada and all other places, got big over there, then came back home and it was like,
Yeah.
oh, all of a sudden, now we love boy bands. It happens to all of them.
But
It happens to all of them.
because of that, I just like it, not recently, but I fell in love with NSYNC later.
Yeah.
Because for me, it was like,
Yeah.
PSV are best.
They're better. Look, we would have been in the streets, on the internet streets arguing like, you would have said NSYNC is just an imitation of the Backstreet Boys. And I was like, well, NSYNC can dance better than the Backstreet Boys any day. And then we would have been in those streets. And that's okay. I would have rolled with my boys. You ride with Backstreet, but I love them. Now I think
Shout out to Color Me Bad.
Shout out to Color Me Bad.
I love Color Me Bad.
I like Color Me Bad too. I ain't gonna lie. There was some other little boy band groups that happened around, like ABC and BBD, because New Edition. Hello. But yeah, it's a little piece of. I love boy bands though.
I was gonna say, I just remember, I was like, I know I'm missing someone. And there's this one band, it's the reason why I ended up living in Huntington Beach. Because that band was from Huntington Beach, and it was they were on the X Factor in 2012, and I moved
I think
to
I
the
know what you're talking
US.
about.
That's when I was
Say it.
deciding which university I was going to go to, and I got accepted in Akron, Ohio, and
Say their name,
Orange
River.
Coast College in Costa Mesa, California. And I was like, girl, I'm not going to Ohio. I'm sorry, I'm not. So Emblem 3 was on X Factor. Yes.
Okay.
And I fell in love with just the personality, the music, all of that. And that's how I found out about the city, and then that I looked into the university, and that's why I ended up living there because of them.
Wow.
That's
And
wild.
also the OC, but yes.
Okay, right. The
Yeah.
OC, I'm about to say that's why I
Yes,
like that. But
but
and shout out to
I
O-Town.
listened to
I don't think they give
their
enough love. Yeah.
original album to this day. It is so good. I obsessed.
Yeah, shout out to O-Town. I don't think they get enough love either. So yeah,
I
O-Town,
agree.
you get some love over here. Anyway, but let's talk about these kings and their boy band presentations because we see, like we said, 90 minutes
Mhm.
to write, record, choreograph
Choreograph.
a boy band number.
Yeah.
And we see these two groups, and it felt so different from each group. Like we had Charles's
So-
group.
Mhm.
Charles's group was like they kind of was like I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this. They didn't really know what they wanted to do, but they kind of wanted to make us think they knew what they wanted. Tuna was like, "Hey, I'm in music. If you need a rapper, you can
Yeah.
do it." And I'm like, "Period, Tuna rap." Then
Yeah.
they're like, "Okay, yeah, you can rap. You do this." And a lot of people were like trying to put their hands in the pot of this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do, and then it was like, okay, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want. Everybody had what they wanted to do, but then they didn't want to really do what the other people wanted to. I don't know. It just felt very alive
Real.
with that
Very,
group.
very much real when it's a group.
in
Like,
90 minutes. In 90 minutes, yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of stressed me out. I don't know about y'all. It kind of
Yeah.
stressed me out
The
watching
other,
them.
like the other group, I think it was because I remember Dick was trying to be the leader of the group that he was on, and
And it
people were
was-
not having it. They were not living. No.
Worse.
And he was like, I think I'm good at, like, he wanted to be the, but he was like, people are not feeling it, and so funny.
And it was just depressed.
It was an interesting dynamic because I feel like King Molasses came in there and was like, I'm kind of the one to beat. I have front runner energy. I want to keep that.
Yeah.
Right.
Meanwhile, DVD was like, I feel like I'm falling into the mid pack. I need to find a way to stand out. So I have to really assert myself. And so you have these two people who are really fighting for that main spot. And it just created this awkward tension. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I like you
Like,
both.
there is already a team leader.
Yes.
Right.
It's the role is not up for debate, or just like it's not.
Like it was
I don't
King
get
and
it.
it was Charles. Like those were the
Yeah.
leaders. They
Yeah.
won for that spot. Like DVD, I need you to calm down a little bit. Just a little bit.
I felt like King Molasses was just a natural leader. He didn't have to push or like it was really like organic and like that just like yeah, but no, it
That-
always so well.
You know what Dyke felt like to me? He felt like the little sister of a group of like 7 kids, and then the youngest is like, "Hey, me, want to say something? I got something to say." Like, oh, calm down, child. Like, bring it down, and we will get to you. But I just felt like it was just that energy that Dick wanted to just show so much.
Big dick energy.
That big dick energy wanted to come out, and King Molasses was like, settle down, I got this. And it was like, oh, like the shrinkage happened, and right before our eyes, we watched Dick kind of just shrink away for a minute because nobody was listening. It was like, I have this idea, and everybody was like, we got it. Oh, I have this idea. This one.
There's this weird thing where Molasses is like so like chill and soft spoken, yet so commanding at the same time. And it's just fascinating to watch. I don't think I've seen a
Swagger.
TV personality
Like
quite
that.
like Molasses, and I'm so like drawn into it.
That swagger is that's that kind of confidence.
The quiet confidence.
The quiet confidence. If you go to any
Mhm.
boardroom of any CEO of a real boss,
Mhm.
and you see when they're at that board meeting, they sit at the head of the table, they're not saying much, and everybody around is just this is idea, and they're just like, and then when they want it to be quiet, they're like, I got this, or like, hold on, and everybody shuts up
Mhm.
because that kind of power just demands that attention. He has that in spades, and it was nice to watch.
It's oozing out.
It was
Like it's
oozing.
leaking.
I was watching the TV. I was just like, oh my god. I feel like this king could walk into my house and tell me to sit down, and I'd be like, yes, sir.
I was gonna say, I don't like people telling me what to do,
Like
but
telling me what to
King,
do, but I would be
With the
like,
top.
Exceptions can be made.
hello.
he could tell me, he could boss me around.
He could probably walk into my house when I'm in the biggest panic, like, sit. And I'm like, okay. And be calm about it. And I hate that, but I think I like it with him. I think I like it with him. It was interesting. The two like dynamics
Different
of each
dynamics.
group was so
Yeah.
interesting to watch. I don't know, y'all. I was so geeked to watch this episode. I just loved every second of everything. And it was like, even when it was like chaos and that didn't make sense, I was like, oh, I love this. Oh, that's nice. That's sexy. Oh, that's hot. Like, I was in it. I was in this. It's good. But 90
And also,
minutes is
I
still
noticed
wild.
that it was where a Big D said that they don't like not being in charge of things and having
Mhm.
someone, but they said I'm okay with not being the leader if I have a strong leader.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like,
That was
same.
brilliant.
I'm the same way. If I have to follow orders and the person that is giving me the orders doesn't, I sense that they don't know what they're doing, I can't.
I
I'm
can't.
out.
Mm-mm.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I relate.
Yeah. I think it would have been interesting to see D on Molasses' team to see that
Mhm.
kind of energy take place because D is like, I don't have to be in control if somebody can take control and know what they're doing and I feel comfortable. It would have been interesting,
Mhm.
but I loved seeing D in this other side because when it got to the choreography, D was like, I feel like I could do this.
Yeah.
I feel like I can lead it,
Yeah.
but I don't
But you
want
see
to.
the difference between DVD and D for that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
DVD, Big D just focus on her stuff, wait, sorry, his stuff, and after, okay, maybe I can fit and like maybe lead more this part, and on the other part, DVD was like just, yeah, I want to lead. I don't know.
I think it's different because Big D kind of sensed that people were not really sure what to do with the choreography, so they stepped in
Mhm.
and filled the space that was vacant. They were not trying to fill someone else's space.
Exactly.
That's the
Yeah.
difference.
But
But
the
yes.
choreo, everything happened so fast though. It was like whiplash for me, and I was like, okay, well, here we go. And before we knew it, it was time to go on the stage and
And
do
it
this
was the first time we
performance.
saw the stage.
We saw the
Yes.
stage, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, this is cute. This
It's
is cute.
cute.
It's cute, and we do see all of our judges and
Yes, they look gorgeous.
Fabulous.
these judges.
And
Look
it's
at them.
like I love this panel, like diverse, like different point of view.
Mhm.
Yes.
I think everybody's looking for something different from these kings, and not like everybody has this like a particular thing that they like. I love this panel. It's very cool.
Everyone is an entertainer, but in their own different way. So they have different
Mhm.
experiences and they look for different things. They give their feedback comes from all different places, right? So
Right.
I love that the panel of judges is as diverse as the actual cast.
Exactly.
Work.
Yeah, work.
And Tenderoni looks so good in that freaking
I
white
know.
outfit. I cannot. I
Tenderoni
can't.
said. Tenderoni
Makes me
said.
mad.
Wait, Tenderoni said. Everybody's wearing red. I'll wear white. Thank you. I won't. I am not conforming to this red
He
thing.
is the moment
Yeah.
every time.
Okay, and I know that she is trans now, but Damien kept giving me Valentina energy, especially sitting by Sasha Velour. I'm like, oh, a reunion,
You're right.
like pre-transitioning.
Mhm.
The
But
But
this
Sasha looks, I mean,
Sasha.
are we surprised?
call.
This headpiece, Sasha, I'm living for. Sasha, for me, Sasha was giving me very RuPaul
Yeah.
on this panel. Very like, I have my thoughts and I will say my opinions. And I was ready for her to go silent. I was waiting for it. Be like,
Mhm.
I have made my decision. But it's just a good panel. And I love the director, Paul, down here on this end. I was like, oh, okay, I've definitely seen his movies. Love that. But I loved his energy, and I loved
Mhm.
how he was just like, I'm so excited to be here. This has been something we've been waiting for a very long time. And to hear that him and his wife donated $300,000 to three different LGBTQ plus charities. I was like, I love that because that's what an ally is for. That's what you do as the ally. You don't have to be the biggest voice for that community because that's not your community to be the voice for. But what you can do is donate what you can to your time, your money, your support, your friendship, your love. Like that's all people want in an ally. And I love that him and his wife are like, we love this community. We have loads of fun in this community. We're not just gonna come into this community and enjoy all of it and
And
take from them
Yeah.
and without giving
Mhm.
back to them. So
Yeah.
love that so much.
Also, he one of the other things like offering opportunities. Like when he
Yes.
mentioned, like I want to like do it, cast
Yeah.
one of these things, and we're like, do it.
Do it.
And
I
where did he
love
learn
it.
to do the splits like that?
Hello? Who's this man? I think
And
he was a drag
honestly,
queen or a
like,
drag
in
king in
this-
his silver day.
Maybe.
Maybe in this very well dressed panel, he is not behind at all. He
No.
looks
That
good.
red jacket is eating. I love that red plaid jacket. I'm here
Mhm.
for it. I'm here for it.
And
But
I found it interesting also because he's like, he represents like the cis men white that we don't like usually or
Mhm.
afraid of, and like just to have those infos on them, and it's important that they are here too. Like it's just another perspective also. So yeah, and it's not like the main judges or character, but he's there, and we have like this other panel. So yeah, it's fun. It's good.
Mhm.
we appreciate this straight white person on the panel. Like instead of being the male, not white, but the straight male on the panel. We appreciate this
If it's
straight
an
male. But
actual
if it's an
ally,
actual
it's fine.
ally, yeah,
Exactly.
because we have
We're
had
good.
Let
some
me
of
see.
yeah, we've had some people on panels. I'm like, why are you even here?
Exactly.
Why are you even here? You don't
Exactly.
appreciate this. Like, ugh.
No.
But this was a great panel. And so we do see the performances happen.
Yeah.
Let's
Mhm.
talk about these performances. Let's talk about the bromosexuals. They came out first.
Remind me, it was
Oh,
The
yeah.
Brom
We
oh,
can use that photo for the
yes,
Weenie
we can
challenge
do
because it's
that.
the same, like the
It's the
top
same.
row.
Charles.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, Charles's group. Let's pull that up.
So it
Aw.
was Charles, Buck, Tuna, Alexander, and Big D
Mhm.
All the ones on
for the
top.
first.
All the
for
ones on
first
top.
group.
So bromosexuals are here. What do we think about the bromosexuals?
We're
We'll
good.
start with you. Okay. What you got, Jesse? Johnny. Ugh.
I found like some of them were good, and some others were. it was not equal though. Yeah,
Mhm. No.
Mhm.
but the first
Mhm.
part was good, and after it just a little bit downhill.
Yeah, it did. It's the drawing of the horse. You know, the meme of the drawing of the horse where it starts really good and then it just,
No.
Like Alexander the Great. was-
But yes, but like like we mentioned for the weenie challenge, I think that for the beefy challenge, also I don't think any of them were horrible. Like,
yeah,
Mhm.
so I feel like some did better than others. Like everyone was at least fine.
Mhm.
Like that's the bar. It's fine and up. You know what I mean?
that's it. Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you have any other thoughts on the first team?
For me, it was Alexander and Big D. Yeah, like
Mhm.
Yeah,
it was really
the
good.
standouts.
They were really incarnated and like funny and like
Yeah,
but
I agree. From this team, Big D was my favorite, but closely followed by Alexander.
Same.
Just because the energy and the stage presence for Big D, plus like the funny and the like, it just was, it hit every spot for me.
Yeah.
In Alexander, technically everything was perfect. I was just missing a little bit of that extra cherry on top of like the energy, but everything
Mhm.
was so good.
Yeah.
I think Charles and Buck did fine, and Tuna was the one that struggled a bit, but it was still, there were still good parts. But I think Tuna out of this group was the one that struggled the most.
They were in their hair, that I think.
Yes.
Wow.
They did say that they were like, not
Yeah.
so good in their head, but yes.
Yeah, I will say this was my least favorite of the groups, but it had a lot to do with the song. I think the songs are so lopsided.
Weird.
Very
This song was
lopsided.
not very good. It sounded like it was recorded, like it sounded like somebody was singing, but they were like 15 feet away from the microphone in like a metal tube. I'm like, what is going on with this chorus? It was so weird.
Very bad mixing. Very bad mixing.
But
Like the recording was
Nothing
not
on the
good.
Kings,
The
but
mixer
production,
at, like,
let's get it
10
together.
minutes.
And I was not I wasn't super crazy with the choreography. I think they had more detailed choreography than the other group, but maybe it didn't need it. Maybe Keep It Simple, Stupid would have worked for them.
90 minutes.
Right. I think I have some hot takes though.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I will say Big D was my favorite, especially on second watch. I was like, yeah, Big D killed this challenge. Or did I say second? First favorite. Second favorite for me was Tuna Melt.
Okay, the lyrics were good.
Yes.
The lyrics were
I like
very
what
good.
I heard. I liked what I heard.
Yeah.
I thought her verse was my favorite, or his verse was my favorite. I even watching it back the second time, I could pick up a little bit on the missed words, but I didn't think it was super noticeable. So I was a little surprised when he was in the bottom, personally. I'm in the minority, I'm sure, but I was very pleasantly surprised with Tuna during this challenge.
Okay.
Good.
For me, I think that Big D was doing it. Like I really enjoyed Big D's performance through and through. I liked. I agree with you on one thing, David. This group was not my favorite group overall. I thought the second group's overall performance was better, but I think because they tried to stuff so much into this performance, when you only had 90 minutes, keeping it simple probably would have been the best bet. And I think that's what made the second group's performance a little bit better. But I think Big D did a really, really good job. I think Alexander did a really, really good job. I think Tuna's verse was probably my favorite verse of almost everybody's because Tuna's verse was really good. But for me, it was noticeable. Like when I was sitting there watching it, I was like, "Oh, you wrote this. You can't remember your own words. Like, come on, Tuna, come on." And like my roommate was like, "Oh, she
First of all, you got to remember what you said.
what you said and what you wrote." Like, hello, because my roommate was like, "Is it off? Are they they're not lip syncing?" Because I feel like they're. I was like, she just dropped her lip sync. Like she literally dropped her words. And he just dropped the words, and I was like, "Oh yeah, yep." And so it was noticeable for us as we were watching it, but I still think the lyrics were so good, and that's why I was like, I'm torn because I think the lyrics are so good, but the performance wasn't so good. So it was like, yeah, a little back and forth. I want to say this, Alexander. I see you. I saw you. I saw you in that performance. I saw you in that work in the man cave while y'all were choreographed because you weren't even thinking about doing no split till you saw Percocet do a split and you were like, ooh, maybe I need to add a split in there too. I was like, I see you. I saw you. But your split came out better. Good to know. And it came out better. But yeah, I thought D and Alexander kind of was the stars of this performance. Tuna's words were the star of their performance, but not the performance itself. But yeah, that's my take on that.
I just want to add, like for me, I think I wasn't expecting that. I was really surprised and well surprised. That's why also I'm like, wow.
Love that.
Yeah. Yes.
Now let's go into the blue ballers because I love them. I literally wrote "love them." I thought it was the best. That's all I wrote because it was so.
Just the first verse.
King Molasses starting this off was the right choice. This was the right choice because the way he commanded that stage, first of all, the choreography just to have them standing behind their backs turned and shaking back and forth. I was like, that's the smartest thing you could have did. That is the smartest thing you could have done for 90 minutes of choreo. And he came out, oh my God, set the tone in a way that I was like, this person, this human, this you're superhuman because you are amazing. I need to get to DC as quickly as possible so I can go see a King Molasses performance. I promise you that is on my bucket list and my to-do list in this within this year. It is happening within this year
I'll go with you.
because okay, we'll make it. We go for like I
Together.
can jump on a train and get up there just
Road
like that.
trip.
Road trip. Let's make it happen because it is so it was so good. I was blown away. The way the swag, the smoothness of it. And he was like, oh, I'm gonna mention everybody's name. And they're like, is that gonna take away from your voice? Oh no, I got it.
I'm not worried.
Oh, don't worry. And he didn't have anything to worry
Oh,
about. It was
that part.
that bar. It was so good. I was like, oh, I can't with this man. I'm loving and hating myself at the same time because I always knew I was gonna love King Molasses anyway. I'm hating myself that I didn't pick him first, even though I could have picked him first. But I'm not mad that I picked Hinlow first because I still believe in Hinlow and I will always be Team Hinlow. So don't get it twisted. But I love King Molasses, period. And then felt like it just kept getting good. Like everybody's was so I love pressure. Pressure ate it up for me. I think King ate it up for me. I think I, Dick ate it up for me. I was like, I like all of this.
Yeah, they
I
give
was.
it all.
They gave it. I enjoyed it. I wasn't even mad at Henlo and Perka. I didn't think theirs was that bad. I just think Perka just had a little. I think their verses were great. I just think the energy wasn't there, and I think that's the same thing with. I think Perka had so much energy and Henlo had not enough energy. But I loved it as a whole. Overall, if they judged it in groups, this would have been the group to win, hands down.
Yeah.
And I know I went out of term. It was my turn, but I'm sorry. I had King just
No,
took me
you're
there.
good.
Jesse, you can go, and
Johnny.
we'll go back. Johnny, why do I keep
Who
calling
the
you
fuck is
Jesse?
Jesse?
Jesse, get out of here, Jesse. I don't know who you are. Leave me alone. I'm talking to Johnny.
Is there a spirit like just bothering you?
Jesus.
What the fuck?
Johnny, I am so sorry.
Crazy.
I am the worst.
Well, I don't have a lot to add because I have the same opinion about that. Like the first verse, I was blown away at the charisma of this man. Like, and like you said, like it was like I want to present everybody. Was so kind and oh, do you have time? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna manage that, and he managed it like a king. Yeah, and yeah, Dick Van Dyke was really good. I don't want to repeat myself, but yeah, pressure. Like, it's been 3 years that he's doing that, but he's like, I'm going with all that I have, and like for me, this is what I love. Like, your soul is there, and you just like give it all. Wow, and like really, there it's like I think for and Loy was just like maybe being a little bit, oh my placement, or I don't know. They seem like just confused or lost a little bit. But I really enjoyed that move too. Like just the, it was more attitude, and this is what I wanted to see.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I agree with most of what was said, except that King Molasses going first was a good idea. Just because it's kind of like going on the runway after Saphira Cristale flower dress. It's kind of like you want to, like, I don't know. My thing is, I'm on the fence if opening with the best performance is a good thing for the group. I think it was a good thing for King Molasses, but I don't think it was a good thing for everyone else in this group. It was a good thing for us watching because I enjoyed having the performance start high and stay there. Yeah. But it didn't go like it started here and it stayed here. It didn't there after King Molasses, there was nowhere up to go. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
In my
I feel
opinion,
that.
but
I feel that.
I feel like everyone as a group did good. My favorite was King Molasses, and then actually Pressure K, so good.
Mhm.
It was so good. The energy was there, like the attitude, it was just really good. And felt like really in the moment as well.
Mhm.
Dick, I enjoyed, but I felt like I could sense like hesitation
Nurse.
in
Yes.
the performance. Like it
Mhm.
was like they were holding back or something, like
Mm.
overthinking, and it
Mm.
translated.
Mhm.
But it was still good. And then Perka and Henlo were my least favorite in this group, but I still enjoyed uh, a lot of parts of their performances. I agree. I think they should balance the energy. Like Perka, give a little bit of your energy to Henlo, and
Mhm.
we're good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
But with Perka saying that they can't dance, I was expecting the performance to be way worse.
Yeah.
Like the
Mhm.
split was crunchy, but everything else before that was
Yeah.
good,
It was good.
right? It was the energy was too much, but it was still
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And I think Henlo, maybe his outfit, I think got in the way of the performance because
Mhm.
it seemed like it was a very difficult outfit to move in. So I think maybe that's why the performance was not as
And
good.
remember the sweat in that.
Yeah. I'm about to say
Yeah.
how much sweat is. Ugh. Ugh.
The
I
stinky
can imagine
ass.
the stinky afterwards, the shower that they must take after they take all that off.
Scrub.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I have a hot take. Molasses was my least favorite.
Shut.
Fine, David.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
leaving.
No,
I'm
I don't.
Get
leaving.
out of
I don't
here.
have any hot
I'm
takes for this
leaving.
group.
I'm about to say I will get
I'm
out
like,
of here.
what do you mean?
I want to trapdoor you so fast. And it's like, get out of here with that now.
No, but I will say, like, I've seen every season of Drag Race across every country that does it. And so I've seen dozens and dozens of verse writing challenges.
Mhm.
This was one of the best I've ever seen from Molasses. I thought it was
Yes.
so good.
Yes.
So good. It almost like made the rest of the episode like, okay, well, we know who's winning the challenge.
Hello.
Period.
Like, there was never any doubt that
No.
Molasses was going to win this challenge. I did think Dick and Pressure were very good too.
Mhm.
They were like distant second and third, but I still really liked what they brought.
Mhm.
Even Henlo and Pressure, they have their own strengths.
You mean
and maybe-
Henlo and Perka?
Sorry, Hesher,
Yes.
Perka
Perka.
and Henlo.
Mhm.
They have their own strengths, and it's probably not choreography, but I like that they both kind of leaned into characters. Like
Yes.
we got so much character from Henlo throughout the episode. Like I knew Henlo was going to bring really good looks. I didn't know they were going to bring this level of stupid, non-derogatory. Like I mean that in the best way. And I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with the character they have. And then Perka is just leaning into this like anxiety or kingxiety thing that they have
Yes.
going. And I'm really finding it endearing. So this whole group, I was like, okay, I like them all. They all could be safe for me.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
But I do kind of like that they judged individually.
Yep.
I like
Yeah.
it. I do. I
Makes
do
sense.
like it. It makes sense. My reason for wanting King first, I felt like it set the bar for the group, so everybody knew that they had to at least get to that level.
Mhm.
I understand what you mean about levels or whatever, because if you would have came below that, it would have been so obvious. It would have been so obvious. So I think him setting that bar, everybody was like, okay, we at least got to reach to that bar. And I think everybody
up,
did.
right?
To
Yeah.
the right, at least up there, touching it at least. And I think they did that. I think it was a really even performance. I think everybody and I think what you said, Dave, with the characters that Henlo and like Perka bring, I like that they even incorporated into the choreography. And I don't know if the judges caught that because the judges were saying things like, "Oh, you felt like it's half a step off, or you weren't." I think that was the character that they were trying to portray. Like all boy bands have that person who's
Right.
the wacky one,
Not the best
cute
dancer.
one, the
Mhm.
sweet one, the smiley, the baby face.
It's
And
like
they did-
together.
right together. We're all this, but like we had that. We had King Molasses it's the sexy one, and then we had Dick is the good, the dancing one, and then Pressure is the hard one,
attitude.
the attitude
Mhm.
one with the hard one, and then you had Himbo, who is a tough character. Is like, I don't really dance, I don't, but I'm gonna give you what I got, my little energy. Oh, they told me to do this, so I'm gonna do it. And then you got said who's King's I love that, David. I love that coin. I don't know if you coined that or not, but
I heard
or
it.
somebody
I'm
said
pretty
it.
sure Perka said that. At least
It's
it
like I
sounded
said,
like King's
but
Eye.
I love King's. I love that he was like, okay, I'm gonna turn. One step behind you, but I'm gonna like, oh, they moving, we move. I love that whole energy. So I got it. I don't think the judges got it, but it doesn't matter because they were. I still thought the performance was really good, and I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
But we do get David. You pushed. Oh yeah, you got the buzz. Our safe kings are Buck, Pressure, Dick, and Charles. They were all called safe, and I was like, okay, they work. All of them should
Makes
be
sense.
safe. That made sense. They all should
And
be
I
safe.
love the attitude. They were like, I remember who it was, but they were like, it means that the judges
Yeah.
like me enough that they want to see more of me.
Exactly.
I'm
Mhm.
like, that's exactly.
Yeah.
You're not complaining about being safe. Like,
Yeah.
yes, thank you.
Because they don't have RuPaul there saying safe is not a word that you
Yes.
want to hear or whatever.
Right.
Whatever RuPaul used to do back in the day.
Safe is not a good thing. It's like you're just. I'm like, no, safe is good. Sometimes all I need to do is be safe.
Exactly.
All I need to do is be safe. But yeah, they were safe. I love that for them. But our top three were Alexander the Great, Big D, and King Molasses. And I agree with
Yeah.
this
That
completely.
was
Yeah.
my top three before they said it.
Right. I knew who the top three were. I was like, this is the top three. Yeah, this was no brainer for me.
I
You have
think
a
I
hot
would have
take,
got
David?
DVD in there.
Yeah.
Over who? Over who though?
Look, I'm very happy that he was in
Yeah.
the top because he's on my draft team, but I probably would have had him over Alexander.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Alexander
See?
did great, though.
Yeah.
Yes, because he's
For
Alexander the
me-
Great. But yes.
Well, yeah.
But yeah. Well, yes.
But for me, yes, I was my fourth is very close and it was pressure for me. So like I still
Yeah.
think Alexander would be the top three for me, but I could see pressure maybe instead of
Mhm.
Alexander.
Okay.
I could see it.
I thought this was right. I picked this. This is the three I would
No,
have
I
picked.
agree.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I
Yes.
thought this was the right three. It was who I picked. I was like, that's the three I would have picked. So, but winner from this top three was Molasses. Of course,
What a shock.
nobody shocked.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. Nobody is shocked by that. I'm
Duh.
not shocked by that. It's like, yeah, duh, he should
He
win.
seemed so humble, though. Like when he was like,
Yes.
Oh wait, I wanted to talk
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
about
the
the
bring that up.
story
judges.
about
Bring that
the
up.
story about the outfit as well.
Yes, all that because then we did have the judges talking about everyone's looks or whatever, and they like these kings came with some really good looks. Let's be honest, these kings came with some looks that I was very happy with. But Molasses' look that they were talking about was his Nigerian culture and how this is a look that his dad wore, and he was happy to represent culture with this look. And you know, we all love representation here on this panel. And I thought the look, of course, was great. We've seen this look on his Instagram. We saw the Instagram. I was like, period. It was such a good look. I loved it. I love that they were talking about how he was saying that he didn't know if the people of Nigeria would be able to see him perform and do this on this stage or whatever. And they were like, this is the international show. People in Nigeria will be able to see this and they will be able to. And I was like, I love
See
that.
themselves, right?
Themselves said queer
Yeah.
people in Nigeria, which I will say, Nigeria is not the easiest country to be queer in. So the fact that they have to have they get to see, it's okay. Wherever you're from, it's okay to be who you are. And if queer is who you are, be it, say it loud and proud and do what you got to do. And know there's representation and there's people out there who are just like you. So I love that moment for Molasses. I love that moment for the Nigerian people. So I hope they are very happy to see King just eating this stage up right now because he ate it up. He just it was just so good. It was so good. But I want to see what you all thought about the judges' critiques on the looks because we didn't talk. We'll talk about it in depth. The looks on Look Over Here because we are going to do our Look Over Here. So we're going to talk about all the looks in depth about that. But what do we think about the judges' critique?
I mean, one that stood out to me was Sasha Velour was talking to King Perka and was like, I love your makeup. I wish you had incorporated some of the blue into your actual outfit. And I'm like, oh, that's actually really good advice. I didn't even think about it, but I think that would have tied it together a bit better.
Bless you. I agree with that. A glove, a blue glove.
Yeah, okay. And I don't remember which one of the judges it was, but they were talking about how they knew of Henlo before because of the spray paint work and all of that. So I did like seeing them recognizing Henlo's craftsmanship, like, because that's just amazing.
Yeah.
And deserves the more praise, I will say. More.
Absolutely. Yeah. I thought they gave
go ahead.
Go ahead. I thought they gave really good critiques. I enjoyed it. It was very like it wasn't bad criticism. It was very constructive, and it was just like we didn't get. You know how first seasons, and you always get some of the judges trying to be the mean judge of the group, and you always get that one person trying to be the Simon Cowell of it all. You know, and I was like, that is horrible. Even though you couldn't say that because I don't think anybody's look was horrible.
Or that one judge on Philippines that said, that's trash.
That's trash. Literally. Yeah, literally, like, stop it. So I'm glad we don't seem to have any of the judges trying to be that person, and I appreciate that. I think everything was constructive, and I enjoyed it.
I like when it's not all positive, like we see on, for example, in All Stars, especially for Drag Race, like it's just we don't see any negative critique, and like there's a way, like you said, is a way of doing negative critiques. So I don't have much to say about what the judges said because I liked that part. I think it was very fair and just done in the best way possible. And I don't agree with necessarily everything, but they all made good points.
Right. So. Absolutely. But then we do have our bottom three because our bottom three ended up being Tuna Melt, Percocet, and Henlo Bullfrog. And I was like, oh, but I get it. Probably the bottom three I would have had. I don't think David would have had Tuna in there, so that's interesting. But who would you have put in Tuna's place, David?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think there's people that I kind of forgot about by the end. And please, I know you're probably watching, but like by the end, I didn't remember Charles as much. I didn't remember Buck as much.
Yeah, me too.
Don't remember them for bad reasons, though.
Right.
So I don't know. Like I would have to really think about who the bottom three would have been for me.
Yeah, but
I kind of see that. I see what you're saying. Yes, I kind of agree.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Revry. I cut you off.
No, that's it. I kind of agree. Like they were not, like I said, they weren't bad, but it's unfortunately Charles and Buck were the two kings that I remembered the least from what I saw.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
right.
But that's not bad either. So
not a bad thing. It's just
not bad. Yeah.
But they did go to our bottom two because they ended up saving King Percocet. So we had Henlo Bullfrog and Tuna Melt as our bottom two. And then we find out what this final thrust is going to be.
First of all, that name.
I love this so stinking much. Why are their names giving way more than Drag Race? I'm sorry. We got a Weenie. They had time to develop.
Because they have actual drag artists probably creating stuff. I mean.
Hold up.
I said it. I said it.
But we got a Weenie challenge. We got a Beefy challenge. And now we got the final
man
thrust.
cave.
The man cave. Every pun. I love it. I am here for it. The dick acronym. I am here for it. Like, give oh, give me this all the time. Give me this all the time.
Just before we
But
go to the bottom, I just want to add, like, I really appreciate the transparency of every judges saying which one they were voting.
Oh
We never see
yeah.
that.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
See, that reminded me. I don't know if Lana watched it, but David, it reminded me of La Mas Draga.
Yes,
When they
that's
with
I
the
watched
voting.
Lamas. Yes,
Yeah. Oh, you watch it? Yeah.
I did watch Lamas.
I do like that on Lamas they do. It's even more camp because they do like the little paddle and they turn.
Yes, yes.
And like it's just so dramatic for no
Yeah.
reason. But
Why
I do
do I-
love that we get to see like each judge
Yeah.
say like
Why,
yeah, I
why,
like that.
why do I feel in my heart of hearts in season 2 we're gonna get paddles or something of some sort of them like
I mean,
this queen? Like I just
I-
feel it in my bones
do
of
it.
bones.
I hope so. I hope
I
so.
feel it in my bones of bones that we gonna get a upgrade on how they announce the kings that they're voting for. I do it. Give me a panel, give me a paddle, give me a board or something. I just want to see it.
Yeah.
But
I am really curious though, with Johnny, since you are a drag king, like how would you feel being on a competition show and they're like, you're not gonna lip sync, you're gonna break dance for your life?
Oh my, I really love that. Like it's just something that it's not unexpected. So everybody's starting at the same point. Like do what you have to do with this team or this challenge. Like yeah, I really it's smart. It's fun. Like it's changing. Like we need it. Like we needed a change of the lip sync battle. Like
right, it's different.
Also because the challenge was a lip sync. So
yes,
yeah.
I felt like I was like, wait, what? Brain has to process everything. I was like, wait, what? We're doing a breakdance battle of the meme from Australian Olympics? Wait,
Oh, is that what that was?
that's what, like, literally,
I
it was
guess.
the meme.
Yeah.
It was the meme from the Olympics.
Because-
that was the whole thing, and it was from
because
the
they said like you don't have to be good, it just has to be entertaining. So I think
Entertaining.
that
Exactly.
gives the meme because
It
it
literally
wasn't
was the
good, but it
meme.
was entertaining.
It was literally the meme for the Olympics, and I'm like, oh, they want us to do the Australian women's break dance because that was the thing of the Olympics that came out. I was like, okay, well then it really doesn't have to be good because she wasn't good.
If it's
So
the
it
Olympics
just-
of drag, so
it's
that makes
right.
sense.
So I'm like, okay, but
So
when
we
that
don't think it's going to be this every week.
I don't think it's going to be this every week. I think it's because the lip sync was the challenge. Doing another lip sync would have been a little redundant.
Yeah. Or it
So-
would
Or
change-
can I say what I
Or
actually
it
think
might be something
why?
else every time.
I
think so.
think they don't have lip syncs because of the budget for this season.
Yeah, the
Maybe.
Because they can't pay for the rights of the songs to
songs.
have a lip sync.
That's a thing.
True.
So I
That's
don't
true,
think
too.
we're gonna be getting. Maybe we'll get one lip sync for something that they budgeted for. Maybe I don't know,
Or,
but I'm guessing it's stopped. I'm guessing.
I
it's
think it
stopped.
might be a different type of challenge every week, a different
Yeah.
type of final thrust every week, and it might be. Who knows what it could be at this point? But now I'm interested to see what that is. So I'm gonna have to tune in every week to find out what the final thrust is gonna be.
It's kind of like
I was also surprised that it was one person that was leaving because they are 10 and they have 6 episodes. So what would be the twist? Like next week is gonna be 2 or 3, or I was really wondering how many people were like eliminated.
Mhm.
I definitely think a double is happening
Of
at
course,
some point.
it has to. Yeah.
And then maybe I don't know, maybe a 4-person final. I don't
Yeah.
So
know.
should we, since they vote every well, I'm assuming every episode, should we start doing that too?
Yeah. Do that.
Vote
I mean,
for
Who we thought
Sure.
won the final?
sure. Let's
I'll go
make
ahead
our
and
own
start
panel.
then.
Okay.
Okay, I'm voting for Henlo. I thought Henlo was better.
Okay. River, what did you
me
think?
too. I agree.
Yeah. Me too.
Johnny?
I mean, they were both good, but yes.
I think Henlo did more, and it was more entertaining. It was like and she rolling all over the floor, rolling down to the steps, and then I think Tuna was just running around with the flag, and I was like, I need you to do
More.
something else.
Yeah, stop
Like,
Mhm. Be
go
funny,
for it.
like do
Be
something
funny.
dumb, stupid,
Like,
roll on it, like whatever.
like nobody can do the sprinkler. Like, like I would have been doing all kind. Like, give me a really bad break dancing spin, get on the floor and just spin around, like in the ugliest,
Yeah.
stupidest way. But just give me something. And I feel like Tuna was so in their head that they just felt like, okay, let me take this flag and run around the stage. No, that's not doing it.
He was
And
disappointed.
I kind of liked it because it's, if you think about it, it's the opposite of preparing for a lip sync battle. Because for a lip sync, you need to be prepared,
Mhm.
right? For this, it's all about improvising, and the least you can think,
Yeah.
the better you're gonna do at this.
I
Because the
agree.
point was be stupid, entertain us, like so you. It's kind of like a court jester kind of thing. Like just do something so we are entertained. Just
Entertain.
And you just like going into the core of drag where it's hard for some people, but we have to be messy and we have to just
Mhm.
be spontaneous like that, and it's entertainment also. Like, so I really
Absolutely.
enjoy it.
Absolutely. But we did have a winner as
Yeah.
well, a person who was eliminated, and sadly, our person eliminated was Tuna Melt. Oh, I was sad about it, but I understood. I got it because I was like, it wasn't as entertaining as Henlo in that final thrust. And that's the point. You got to just let it all hang out. You just got to go for it.
Sure.
Go
I
for
was
it.
I was actually a bit surprised because like
Hmm.
we hadn't heard if there were going to be eliminations this season.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just kind of assuming that they were going to fake Tuna out and it was going to be
Me
like,
too.
oh, actually nobody's going home this season. Because we've seen that. We're seeing it with Morbid Drags right now. Nobody got eliminated until the finale. But I'm sad too because I said it in our cast assessment that
Mhm.
Tuna was one of the bigger question marks for me. Like I felt like I knew where everybody fit in, but Tuna was like, I don't know exactly what your style is like. And I started to learn this episode, but it wasn't enough. I wanted more. I really wanted at least 2 episodes from Tuna so I could really see their full identity. What I did find out is that they are so endearing. They're such a lovable person. Their whole goal of going for trans joy, I just found that like so like
Oh,
heartwarming all
it was so
episode.
good.
So that just made it even more sad to see Tuna leave.
Hmm. I love every time they said trans joy. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
I love that because everybody should have joy. Just have joy in your life, and and I think the endearing side of her just on the side of them just bursted through the screens, and I loved it. I didn't think they were gonna have eliminations. I was hoping. I was with you, David. Especially even when they were doing the dubbing ceremony, which I love. By the way, I thought that was so
I wanted
good.
to mention that because
I love that.
Rose petal, the dubbing.
Rose petals and
It's a party for you. We are happy to have you with us, and you're leaving. And
your family, and oh,
it was the way they did it, and everyone was like around, and it was just so meaningful and so like
beautiful.
I love it.
That was my
so
you are
camp,
here,
but also like emotional and
that
real.
was like
and
my
like
favorite part of the episode. At the end, I was like, oh, that is so beautiful because it just like even though you're leaving, you are still family, and we love you, and we want to celebrate you as you go, and that's the best way to go instead of just having to walk away and doing the walk of shame. Bye, and you're like, oh well, bye.
Can I just say, because y'all highlighted and I agree, but that's what I wrote in my notes. That I love that they took the time to use their last moment on television to say trans rights and free Palestine.
Yeah.
Period.
We haven't heard that
we haven't heard that anywhere.
No.
Mm-hmm. And I love that. But in that moment, I thought Murray was about to say nobody's going home because he was like, even but you have something he made mention of something where it made it seem like they were about to say
that it was gonna be like
right. I was waiting for the fake out, but no fake out. I was like, oh well, okay, bye Tuna. See you
We
later.
still got an exit line. Joke's
I
on
was
you
gonna
because I
say-
just farted.
We have a contestant for best exit line of the year.
Yeah.
Like,
Jokes on you.
that is definitely going into the category because jokes on you. I just farted had me through. I was and then to see
I
everybody
laughed
and
out
Murray, like,
loud.
like, I love this. This show is so campy, so stupid in the best way, and I loved every second of it. I y'all.
Same.
I have
Same page.
found my new just my new thing that I'm looking forward to watching. It was Love Island. It's still Love Island, but now it's Love Island and King of Drag. Like those are the shows that I look forward to watching. These 6 episodes are gonna come and go so fast. Gonna be so mad.
It's not enough.
Not enough. It's not enough. But y'all just get ready to renew it for the second season and give us 10 to 13 more episodes. 10, 13 episodes like that.
Because this one was really packed.
So,
Oh, yeah.
and so
Holy
fast.
shit.
Mhm.
But we should get to the draft update of it all. David,
Yes, I do have a
Crack
draft
the
update.
numbers.
Yep. So each of us picked 2 kings to be on our team. So Ezra, who's not here, Ezra is unfortunately in last place right now with 3.5 points. Ezra did have Tuna. In 4th place is Lana with 4
Mhm.
points.
I had him though.
Yeah, there's a tie for 2nd place between Logan and River with 6 points. And then in 1st place is myself with 9.5 points. Yeah, I had Alexander and King Molasses on my team, so it was a good week for me.
That's a good week for you. And I was like, dang, Lana, you could have had King. You could have had Molasses. You could have. But I'm not mad at my choice because I still have faith in Hinlow. Still have faith and pressure because pressure did 8 this episode. I will say it was a good episode.
For sure.
For your
But oops, not that. I hit the wrong thing. I didn't mean to hit it at all. Okay.
Oh my god!
No, oh my god!
Look, we're both pressing it at the
We're
same time.
both pressing it, but yeah. But that is that, y'all. We overall, I'm sure I could say for everybody, we enjoyed this.
Mhm.
Yeah, we enjoyed this a lot, and looking forward to next week. And we're going to be right back here next week to talk all things King of Drag. But we're also going to be right back talking about the looks of this first episode. So that look over here is going to come out soon after this video drops. So be on the lookout for that. Follow us and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done it. If you hadn't done it in this 2 hours that we're almost 2 hours that we have talked about King of Drag, we have hyped King of Drag. If you're not watching King of Drag, you really need to do it because it's really that good. Get it on Revry TV. It's a free app. Get it. It comes out every Sundays, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Get this app. Watch the show. It's so good. Go support our kings. They deserve it. They deserve it. They deserve it. Period. Johnny, we so appreciate you taking the time and spending it with us tonight.
Of course.
And hopefully we'll have you back soon.
Yes.
We want Johnny back as many times as Johnny want to come on the show. Like, absolutely.
Yep. And go follow him. His Instagram's down there.
All the links, all of that is down there. Follow, support. Follow us on all of our channels. Go subscribe to all of those channels. All the links are in the description below, as well as our audio podcast, our Patreon, all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Follow everybody on this panel, but especially Johnny. Follow Johnny on their Instagram. Support. Show them all the love. But you can follow David and River and myself if you want.
And follow Jesse too.
Jesse too, whoever that is. Jesse, I don't know who that is. Yeah. Jesse needs to mind their own business. Honestly, I'm sick of Jesse. But Johnny's better. So, but thank you all for watching. And get your cup mug while you're at it at lanagcreations.etsy.com. And on that note, y'all, we're gonna get out of here. So cheers, y'all. Good night.
Cheers.
Cheers.